This is my very first podcast episode. So this is called Welcome to My Life episode. All right, so guys, I'm a South African streamer, content creator. Um, I try to do what I can. I do a variety of things, but anyway, that's besides the point. So if you guys like this type of content, please like, share, subscribe, do all those fancy things. Let's take a dive right into it. So this is just going to be, like a deep dive into basically what I've been through. And if you feel lost, just keep walking. So, just basically want to start off with, all my life, I don't know what I want to be, what I want to do for a living. Never knew which path to take. I had people try to help me on which path I should do and what career and stuff like that. But it's just, I don't know, it didn't really feel right. I'm now 32 years old. I still don't really know what I want to do, but I am kind of getting there because with the streaming now, the podcast, the business that I have, I do want to do these things. So, but as for like continue on with studies and everything like that, I don't know. I was just lost at what what I want to do for the rest of my life. What I want to do to try and make a living, try and make an income. I've been in sales for probably majority of my career. Sales was basically the only position that I could take because I didn't have a matric. I left school quite early, and then on top of that, like I said, I didn't know what I want to do, and it's great that you can do sales, because the thing is that you can do sales, but in what industry? What product do I feel like I want to sell for the rest of my life? What and it's not just on a career path. I mean, even with life, I'm like I said, I'm now 32. I stay with my girlfriend's mother. um I kind of compare myself to my friends because it seems like they have everything figured out. They got kids, they got cars, they got their own property, they got basically everything that I want, and I can't have that. And I don't know what to do in order to get there. And I get it, working hard. And guys, don't try to come here and say that I haven't worked hard, because trust me, everything I've done has just been trying to figure out where I'm trying to go and where I want to get to, what I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to be sitting at 40 in the same position that I'm in now. You know, at 25, I moved out of my parents' house. I struggled my ass off to provide myself food. I struggled to, get everything in order. And even then, even back then, when I was 25, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. It felt like that I just had no passion for what I was selling at the time. But I kept moving, kept going forward, hoping that life will maybe try to guide me into a way of finding what I want to do for the rest of my life. In a way, it's worked. I mean, like I know for a fact that I want to do streaming, content creation, maybe doing these podcasts and everything for a living. And also, my business. But I would love to become an entrepreneur. Well, technically, I am an entrepreneur, but even so, I mean, even I still feel lost. I still don't know what to do, you know. And in my mind, I don't know like where I want to go. I don't know where to go from here. It's like I've hit a brick wall. I can't move through it. I can't go around it. I can't go under it. I can't go above it. But like I said, we just keep walking, keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully life will eventually guide me. And I know what some people are gonna say. They're gonna come on you and just be like, "Yo, you should know now what you want to do because you're 32 and stuff." No, and it doesn't work like that. If it did, I'm pretty sure everyone would have an end goal. I mean, I do have a goal, which is to start a family with my missus, be successful in my business, and maybe get the streaming and content creation off the ground, and hopefully I can do that for a living, right? But there are times when I just I lay in bed and I think to myself, what am I going to do? I've fallen behind on bills. I've I bought a car last year. Well, actually, my missus bought me a car last year, and the engine blew within the first, I don't know, probably, I would say, like the first month and a half of having the car. Fix the engine, then probably about another 8 months later, engine blew again. I had to get rid of the car, so now I'm sitting without a car. I'm sitting out without having my own house. Um, yeah, and it gets really really difficult. There's been a good couple of days where I think to myself, is it actually worth trying to move forward, or is it worth, you know, taking a pit stop and just maybe stopping where it is? And somehow, some way, my mind just says, just keep walking, keep going forward, see what happens. But for how long? You know, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel like this. We don't know where we want to go. We know what we want to achieve, and we've tried all different avenues of tackling things from different perspectives. Um, just running full speed ahead and diving headfirst into things and stuff like that. And each time it just fails and fails and fails and fails. And now, we're here. I don't know what to do. It's one of those things where, like, you basically have a plan, but you have a plan that starts with the end goal. Not where or how you're gonna get to the end goal. And just moving forward just seems like the only way to do it until there is some sort of opportunity. I've like I said, I've got my business. I've tried marketing. I've tried, messaging people. I've literally tried basically everything that I could in my power to try to get the business off the ground, because I've been running it for about a year. And then I take a look at other businesses. I take a look at other people, and just there's something that they have that somehow, you know, like gets them off the ground. And if I try to implement that exact same strategy on my side, it just doesn't work. And then again, like I said, this is what this whole episode is about. And then again, I feel lost because I'm doing the exact same things that a successful person is doing, but I'm still not getting the same results. And it gets tough. It really does. It's not an easy thing to face. I've tried to, I try to be successful in working for other people, and I could be the top telesales and still not get a sale. I don't know how. I don't know why. And then when I go ask for help, I just I get shut down. But then at the end of the day, it's my fault. But then managers and everything say, "Yo, if you need help, come to me." Okay, but that's what I've been doing. I come to you for help because I'm making all these calls. I'm doing what you told me to do, and yet the end result still remains the same. That I sit with nothing. So, guys, it's not the fact that I'm not a hard worker. I work extremely hard. It's just, why is it that sometimes it feels like I keep hitting a wall. I keep hitting this wall where I can't just move past it. I can't, like I said, I can't go through it. I can't go around it. I can't go above it. I can't go under it. And if I do try, something stops me from getting there. whether it's barbed wire fences or landmines or whatever, whatever that you want to put in there. It does, and it gets to me. It really does get to me because my missus is busy studying to become a teacher, right? And so she's got a matric. She's trying to get a degree. She wants to take her studies a bit more further as well. And I think to myself, why can't I be like that? You know, and I've tried it. Like I've studied for months and months and months, but it just doesn't sit in my head. It never has. When I was, I think I left school at about grade 11, and it started really getting difficult for me because like I tried and tried and tried throughout all the years from whatever grade that you started. I think it was like grade 0 all the way up to grade 11. I struggled, and I passed by the skin of my teeth. I don't know how I did it, but I managed to do it. And yeah, it was just it was difficult. And now I'm sitting here today at age 32 and still trying to figure out what I want to do. How am I going to do it? And I wish I could say that it was easy, um, but it really hasn't been. I've seen people do the exact same stuff that I'm doing and just have a better outcome. I don't know why. I don't know how. Maybe I'm not attractive enough. Maybe that's the reason. you know. Um, but this whole thing of being lost inside yourself it has led me down very, very dark paths. But I'm also the type of person to just keep going, keep pushing, see where the road takes me. And I just pray that I'm not going to end up on the streets. It's the one thing that I do pray for, is that I'm not going to end up on the streets. And you know, I've seen people who's got degrees and stuff like that and still end up on the streets, and I just hope that I don't end up there. And those people are more lost than me. I'm very fortunate. No, I must say it. Like, I have had a hell of a lot of luck. I wish I didn't have to say that. Um, I've had help. I've had um, a little bit of support that I can get and try use that as fuel to keep going. But eventually, luck will run out. Um, and I just hope that my mind doesn't give up when the luck runs out. So yeah, basically, keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing. Um, if you are lost, keep going. Just keep walking that path. I know it's going to be difficult, especially when it comes to choices, but just keep going.